All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Chich Nyama, and we're getting ready for Battle at the Island in Cape Town. Yet another part of Fighters Club promotions, and we're going on the road again.
100%.
How are you feeling ahead of the win to Cape Town?
I think it's daunting, maybe has a negative connotation. It's our biggest event yet.
Yeah.
We're aiming for 1,000 people, so that's very exciting for us. Female heavy card, one male fight, all title fights, 6 bouts. So it's quite the statement, and we're excited to make it, but it's obviously a lot of work required from all parties.
Yes, of course. And Simangile Hadebe back on your card again. That must be exciting to have her main headlining the bill.
100%. I think we were very clear when we said Smash will always have a home at Fighters Club. Irrespective, a fight is a fight. You can win, you can lose. So very keen to see her get back in the ring, and an honor for it to be under our banner.
And what was the thought behind not rematching her and Sibois? Because obviously that was once on the cards.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people want it, but I think we need to lose the narratives of females having to continuously outperform the same opponent and start actually filling up the sport with the talent that's already there. So should they want to fight again in the future for another bout, I think it would be great. But at this very moment in time, I think they both deserve different opportunities.
I want to go to the Sibois fight because it's a mouth-watering fight. Of course, it's got the ABU title on the line. And she's versing Similane, who's also a phenomenal boxer with a great record. How did that matchup come about?
Look, we have a phenomenal matchmaker. You know, AB is literally one of the best in the game. And I think we kind of told him the people that we want. Sibois was one of them, and he put it together.
He put it together, and it's a good one, right? I mean, how do you decipher who's going to win? They're both so good.
I don't think we really go into it with that. I think one thing about Fighters Club is win or lose, if you have the grit and the perseverance, we'll always support you. So I think it has a good chance of being a fight of the night. And yeah, whoever wins, whoever loses, as long as they put their hearts out there, we'll be happy.
Sibois is the one that's featured on your platform previously, Similane not. So, I mean, should there be an expectation of a first time coming to upset, just like the last time when Sibois upset Smash?
I think that's always the most exciting. I've always said I love the underdog. I think it's always exciting when females come out and show that they shouldn't be underestimated. But like I said, whichever side it comes from, it's much of a muchness. It's more about them putting on a good fight, and whoever wins the title and whoever doesn't being able to use the audience that they gained to push the sport forward.
And Sarah Karim on the card, she's obviously very popular in Cape Town, trained by her father Zain, and she's got a Western Cape title.
Yes.
Up against her opponents. What's the thoughts of having her in the tournament?
So, funny story, before Terry even applied for her license, she was watching Sarah. And she's been on my case about getting Sarah. But there's been injuries and there's been signings and all of that. So it was just a matter of time, to be fair. I'm super, super glad that we could do it now in her home ground and in Women's Month.
Yes, 100%. August, Women's Month, as we all know. Historic in boxing as well, just to put on the best female fights. We've seen that this is the most female bill that you put out yet.
100%. I think the dates, the way they worked out, it would have been insane to put on a male heavy bill. I think females deserve to have their month, and not just developmental. I think that's where we see a lot of female heavy bills, is when there's grants involved, and we wanted to kind of make a statement and make sure that people know that female boxing has money behind it and has a promoter behind it that is willing to back it irrespective of the circumstance.
You obviously, I mean, I know there's been a predominantly female promotion, but no other promoters come out and done it this strong. You know, in the past there have been promoters that have done female boxing tournaments, but it's more of a once-off type tournament. You guys have been consistent. What has been the key to the consistency?
Look, I think it speaks to the characters of the people we have in our team, number one. And then number two, I think it speaks more to the fighters than ourselves. They have so much grit, no matter whether they have an opportunity or not. Most of them are often in camp just waiting, and someone has to do it, you know, and I think it's an honor to be able to do it, whoever it is. You've seen a lot of promoters kind of uptaking. Golden Gloves is one of them. You've seen Tyler be able to win her SA title there. So I think it's amazing to be part of the movement and maybe even leading the movement for upsetting what female boxing was and creating a new aura around it.
Although you have a very strong female presence on the card, you do have the South African male title on the line as well. That got elevated after Mchunu vacated his South African cruiserweight title. You got Jason Paul coming up against Megan King. What's your thoughts on that fight?
Look, I haven't had much interaction with Megan. I have interacted with Jason and his camp. Very cool camp, very enthusiastic, very energetic. So I think that alone and being in home ground gives him a little step up. But I think if Megan is hungry enough, he could take it as well. Our bulls have a trend of the underdog winning. So never place your bets too early.
Never do that too early. And we, as you said, we've seen that before. But Megan King is relatively unassuming. There's like not a lot of information. I think I've seen one or two of his fights before. So that is a real underdog, if anything, compared to like Jason, who's out there. Personality is outlandish at times.
100%. I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting to start seeing real crosses between the provinces, the personalities, the styles. So I think that fight really kind of speaks to what Fighters Club stands for, that you don't need to be a certain type of boxer or from a certain place.
Yeah.
If you're a boxer and you want to fight and you're willing to put in the work, then, I mean, let's go, baby.
Let's go. And then SN Boxing, that's where Jason falls from. I saw Terry Ann training there as well. Did you enjoy your time in Cape Town?
100%. I mean, Cape Town's always a treat, minus the cold. Look, Salih is such a treat. He is an amazing person all in all, and then just what he's trying to do for boxing in Cape Town is amazing. So I think it was just about going in there and kind of understanding the community. We never want to impose ourselves. I think we are the first promoter who's trying to be national. So it's important that when we go there, it's not a Gauteng promoter coming. We want to position ourselves as a national promoter and really immerse ourselves in the communities and the gyms. And Terry's also from Cape Town. She actually grew up in Edgemead. So it was really exciting for her to be back there and kind of see what's going on in boxing.
And tell us the idea behind Robben Island. That was the original idea that was proposed. What happened with that move?
Look, I think we just realized that the logistics of being on Robben Island in the middle of winter would be miserable for everyone.
Yeah.
It's not healthy for the boxers to be in those weather conditions. The dream is not dead. If you know anything about Terry, you know that she will do it. But I think it's just a matter of timing.
And for the rest of the year, you put your calendar out already. You've got some really cool things, which I know we'll talk about after this. But it's nice to have a schedule lineup of Pretoria, another big venue, that one. So, and after that, Sun City lining up. So, I mean, you've got a really important year lined up, although Cape Town is now. But, I mean, looking forward, are you excited?
Very, very excited. I think Pretoria is very exciting because we're going very male heavy again. It'll be the first time we're male heavy since our first event. We're kind of going to flip this current structure on its head. So potentially 1 female title and 5 male titles up for grabs. It would be really cool to see the province come out and show out for its boxers. We have strong community here, and I think the boxers do as well. So that's exciting. And then Sun City is just like a nice little treat for all of us to end the year, isn't it? To make a vacation out of it, end of the year in style, and why not? I think that's the Fighters Club thing. Why not? It's not impossible. It has been done. It can be done again. So why not?
I think it's the Sun City one seems to be the exciting one. There's 2 dates there.
Yes, there
that
is.
We'll put there. So that's we'll wait. Obviously, there's some big announcements coming.
100%.
In Cape Town, there's one fight that I'm forgetting. I feel on the Cape Town
There's
tournaments.
Bonita van Jaarsveld is allowing herself to be challenged.
Yes.
That's an amazing story. Obviously, she's been battling cancer and overcoming that.
Yes,
So for her to be able to be in a place where she can get back in the ring and allow herself to be challenged is really, really great. And I think Women's Month is just the perfect time to do that. And again, whether she wins or loses, I think the power is in the fact that she was willing to put herself out there. And for the challenger as well, because I think there's a lot of bad press and critique that could come from you wanting to challenge someone with such a hard story. But I think it's powerful to not position Bonita as a victim, and she's more of a survivor and she's a fighter. So it's a really cool narrative that's kind of playing out in front of us with that.
So obviously you have that story. Obviously it hits deep because it's a very some people don't get through the process. She did. So I mean your social sort of what do you call it? Your social positivity and stuff. This obviously means a lot to be putting on a girl like her to show other people that it's possible.
100%. I mean, our tagline for this event is "Fight Like a Woman," and it was really inspired by Tyler at the last presser. She said she's so excited to show people what it means to fight like a woman, and she put on a stellar performance. And I think Bonita is the epitome of that. Is all the things that women have to go through in this life. biologically, systematically, even we see it in boxing itself and them not being as empowered. And then on top of that, she managed to beat cancer and still be a superstar. So I think her story and her almost aura and perseverance is actually the epitome of what this event stands for.
100%. Even the story alone, even as you said, win, lose, doesn't matter. It's participation and it's what she brings to the table.
100%.
I want to also talk about what Fighters Club has done for other people's careers. We look at like Bernice Ferreira. She wins the IBO world title. She's now jetting off to the United States of America to fight for the WBC world title. That empowerment and the opportunity, how much does that mean to you to see her also going away and doing big things?
I think it's amazing to start seeing the return on what we're doing. I think when we started, there was a lot of critique on if our ideas were too out there and what are we thinking. And I think she's proof of concept, and she doesn't have to be a one and done. This could be almost every single female boxer that fights under Fighters Club could end up overseas with the right buy-in from people like yourself, helping with audience, their managers, promoters, trainers, BSA. There's no reason why our girls can't take over the world. And even our guys, we are not limited to wanting only females to go out there and represent. So it's really amazing. I think it's an honor that straight after our tournament, she's able to go and do this. And we'll definitely be supporting her all the way. And we hope she brings home the belt.
Another example, and I'll just use it, is Tyler Promnik. She obviously featured. She's gone on to become a South African champion. You were in attendance, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yes, I was.
And really enjoyed her success, whether it's not on your promotion, with your promotion. I don't imagine you will never not work together again. You might work together again in the future. What was your thoughts on that moment?
100%. I think it was an amazing win for her. She obviously made a big claim and a big swing going into that, and it's amazing that she succeeded in that. I think we have always held the premise of there's enough pie to go around, and I think we're starting to see what happens when promoters start to work together and don't discriminate against fighters for fighting on different promotions.
Yes.
And I've always been off the premise that the more buy-in you get, the better for all of us, whether it is media, whether it is funds, whether it is the success of our boxers. So it was great. Also to be able to put on tournaments that can even allow someone to go from our 8-month-old promotion to the likes of Rodney Berman. It's an honor because it means we're doing something right. She's our fights are a platform to get people seen, and that's what it was always meant to be.
And you've made like a sort of a promotional collaboration with Warrior Sense as well, because they've got two of their boxers in Kareem and Sabois fighting on Fighters Club. But it seems as though it's a fair exchange. Some of the best female fighters in the country will be featuring on your tournaments.
I think they were very open-minded. There was never any formal discussion that needed to be had or negotiations. And I think if you're ever going to sign a boxer, that's the right way to do it. I think it's so important that, yes, you want to see a return on your investment as a promoter that's developed, but you're not trying to limit their career either or purge them of opportunities. So shout out to them. It's been really, really cool. And hopefully in the future we can, kind of work together even more in a structured, proper manner. And, Cape Town deserves to have these tournaments and these opportunities the same way Joburg does.
Okay, so this is on the road again. We were in Bizana, obviously a lot of things to take from there and put into Cape Town. How do you think the vibe will be compared to that? Because that was a sold out event that you did at the Wild Coast.
Yeah, I think Wild Coast was amazing just because a lot of the people in that room were not boxing fans. With Cape Town, obviously, we're a lot more central this time. I think we're going to have a lot more fans coming out. But I think that might make it even more fierce and raw, is that these are people that really understand the sport and have a lot of buy-in into it. I really urge people to come out, and not even for us, but for the fighters, for them to see that they are worth pulling a crowd. Because I think when you pull a crowd as a fighter, you have a lot more confidence in terms of going forward and going to promoters and saying, this is what I offer. So I think show out, show out for your people, and hopefully it's a vibe.
I know you don't pick fighters or favorites, so I think we're just going to enjoy boxing on the evening and see glorious female boxing.
100%.
For those that want to get their tickets, what do they do?
Yeah, so our tickets are live on itickets.co.za as usual. We have general standing at 350. We have general seated at 650, and then VIP is sitting at 1.7. VVIP is sold out. Yay!
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and then we have different partners. So if you know a person who knows a person, sniff around. You might be able to get a good discount code either through Bushido Gym or through SN Boxing.
Awesome. Well, just take a look at those two gyms in Cape Town.
Awesome.
Make sure that you get hold of them. Also, follow everyone on social media as well. That's important that we all out there.
100%.
Chich, thank you for speaking to us on SA Boxing Talk.
Thank you, Hayden, for having me.
Thank you.